Hello everyone, welcome to my Unreal Engine tutorial series on how to create an open world game. And last time we did implement our material function we used in our landscape material to add textures, and after that we did some distance based landscape texture scale blending uh, to get rid of the tiling we have in this landscape up to some extent. But as you can see, we still have this tiling effect, especially in the distance. So if you check in that over that mountains, you can see the tiling clearly. So this time I'm going to create another method. I'm going to implement another method in our material, like adding some noise, blending these textures based on some noise in the distance and the nearby region, so that we can get rid of this tiling. So it's like this. So if we consider this grass, so we can blend this grass in with two colors, like dead grass color and live grass colors. So then we can do this blending based on some noise. So therefore in some regions this grass will be a little dry and some region more green. So we can get rid of tiling. Okay, let's get started. So I'll open my material, and this is the material for the landscape. If you are not sure how did we create this, you can refer to my previous videos. And this is the material function which defines all the code for each layer, right? So, and this part takes care of base input of the material, and this part normal map input of the material function, and this part distance blending. So you can find a clear version of this material function if you refer to my blog post, which is stated in the description below. Right. So first thing is I need the noise texture. So in starter content and textures, we have two noise textures, this Berlin noise and other macro variation. So I'll use this one. I'll get it into my material function layer function here, and first I need to scale this texture. To do that, I'll multiply this with the texture coordinate, and as the multiplier I'll use something like 0.001. okay, and also based on, let's use red channel, I'll create a loop and plug this red channel as the alpha, and I'll put parameters like this. The reason I am doing this is the reason I am doing this is so that I can get some weight value from here based on the red channel of this texture, and I will use that weight taken from here to blend our near grass layer or the nearby texture layer. So like this. First I'll clamp this, and so here now I'll create two texture layer, not layers. I'll multiply this with first I'll multiply this with white. That means output of this would be same as this one. And then I'll take another channel of this texture. For now I'll take green and multiply with another color. I'll do some blue color like this. Then I'll blend these two together. So this is the output of the nearby layer, and instead of this one I'll get a line from here and love these two based on the weight calculated here, like this, and I'll plug it here. So let's wait until the compilation is done. So the texture is material is compiling. Okay, so compiling is done, but clearly the color that I have used to multiply this texture is not suitable. As you can see, this is green, this has become like blue, but doesn't matter, we can change it later. For now you get what I did. So we have noise based texture blending in the nearby region. So let's do the same thing into the distance areas with different parameters. So now the nearby area has completely got rid of tiling. Okay, let's go back to our material, and later on we will convert this into a function input so that we can have a better control over our material. I'll change this into something like yellow for now. Okay, and for the distance part, okay, so I have changed the color to yellow, and so as you can see, this look more natural. So let's compile and see what happens in our landscape. Okay, so this is the color I got now, but still it doesn't look good enough, so let's forget that for now. Right, now for the distance texture, this is the output of the distant layer, distant texture, and I'll do something like this. I'll duplicate this macro variation node here and do another tiling like this, and for this I'll use something like 0.05, and I'll take green channel, red channel. Okay, before that I have to define, I'll comment this part as near noise. Okay, and for the distant part, I'm not going to add multiply this current texture with another texture. I just okay, I'll do the same for that as well. So no, I'll define a constant color so that in the distance we will see, like if it is a grass texture, in the distance we should see only green, no texture details. If it is a rock, in the distance we should see only black. or some color much similar to rock surface. So for that I'll create a function input like this, and for the preview I'll add a constant 3 vector, and since we are testing this for grass I'll set it as some green like this. Like, let me pick some green from here. Okay, this looks good, and I love this one with this color. And for the alpha input I'll plug the red channel of this one into here. Then instead of directly plugging this output into my distant texture input, I'll lap this one with my near layer so that we can get some more variation like this. And for the alpha I'll wait, not with this one. For the alpha I'll use this one. Instead of plugging this one I'll plug this one. Right, so now let's see what happens. I'll apply this, and yeah, as expected we got some errors, so that we have to define the distance color for each of these layers. So I'll do that. First I'll change the name of this into distance color, right? And I'll put them aside for now. And I'll promote this to a parameter. I'll call it L1 L1 distance color, right? And I'll duplicate this. I'll do this for all the layers, so I'll just pause the video and do it so that we can. Right, so I added distance color for each of these layers and plugged it there. And so in our material instance we have these inputs, and now our landscape looks like this. But as you can see, this in the distance it look all green. That's because we have set this color to same, almost same in all layers, this distance colors. So let's try changing them. So right, so L1 means rock, so I'll make it black instead of green. Okay, this one looks good. And L2 is rock sandstone, like soil. So I'll make it a little more brown. Yes, brown. Okay, let's go a little near to see. We can't see it in here, it's only visible. Right, I'll leave this color for now. right? And L3 is grass, so that should be this blue grass color should be good enough. And this L4 is ground gravel, that means where is our sand? Is it this one? Right, so let's try changing. Okay, this one. So yeah, I'll put all that also some brown like this. Okay, so I'll put aside my material instance. Right, so this is the colors that we have, and as you can see, we have almost no tiling in the distance, right? So I think it's safe to say that we have got rid of tiling, but in the near still we can see some lines, sorry, over here. Right, so let's fix that by, let's open our material instance here, and in our near scaling, I'll change it to like not 3.4. right, so when I set it to 0.4, that is gone. Good. So now also one thing, so as you can see, you can clearly see this line here in between, so this clearly distinguishes a fixed line, which this is the blending area of near scaling and far scaling, right? So let's, instead of this fixed line, let's add some noise to this blending area as well. To do that, I'll go to here into my material function, and I'll add another lerp here, and I'll set this to -2000, something like, and something like -1000, and I'll plug the same red channel here. Instead of this one, I think I'll take that Berlin noise. I'll use this one. Right. Okay. Multiply this one, this, and red channel. Okay. And for this alpha, for this pixel depth we have, I'll add the output of this node so that we can get some variation. Then okay, I'll plug this here. Right, now let's see what happens. Let's wait until the shader is compiled. Okay, so now we don't have that clear separation line anymore. That's good, but also we may have to change our values. For example, this plane distance, it is 1000 now, and we had used to -2000 to 2000 here, so it's better to have 2000 here, right. Okay, and now we have to fix this nearby color, because in the grass we have too much dead grass. So let's fix that now. Okay, for this one, actually right, instead of a constant, I'll type a function input, and I'll call this tint1. Right, so this would be some color variation, and for this one also I'll do the same. Let me get some space here first. So right, another function input, I'll call this tint2. Okay, so this should be a vector 3. Right, now let's apply, and we will have some errors here, so that we have to create or define input parameters for tint1 and tint2 for each of these layers. So for the tint1, I'll promote this to a parameter, and I'll make it white. Let me do this off screen. Actually, I think we don't need a color here. Let's keep it same as the original texture color. So I'll delete this node and directly plug it here. Right, so that we only need one tint. So I'll do it like this, tint, and for this one, for now I'll use everything as white, and in our material instance let's try changing them. So I'll insert all the L1, and this is for L2. I'll do this off. Okay, so I created L1 tint, L2 tint, L3 tint, L4 tint, and I connected with this each layer, and now I set white as default value, and now we got this. So right, so I'll go to my material instance, and I'll change the tint for each layer. So right, so this is the rock color, so I'll make it a little darker like this, and for the tint I'll do some, okay, that's not good. Is it good? Okay, this one, right. And L2, what is L2? L2 is okay, soil. Here. So instead of this, okay, I'll leave this one here. And for the tint, alright, I'll leave some brown color like this, right? And what is L3? L3 is grass, right? We have grass here, and let's change the color tint of grass to some yellow, like this. Okay, so that's good for now, right? And what is L4? L4 is this sand or whatever. Yeah, no, 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 no. Okay, I'll leave it like this. So yeah, so this is the texture material we have created, and here we have, let's work around a little bit. Okay, now we have this seamless or tiling less material. So in the distance and in the near, we got rid of tiling, right? And that's all for now, and in the next episode I'll show you that how to define parameters for each of these other texture inputs, like normal maps and other sharp, roughness. And so if you check here in this week, this normal map, because of this normal map we get this tiling. So I'll show in the next video how to fix that, and how to connect other options, so other material parameters like roughness and oh, everything that we can see here: specular, roughness, emissive, color, opacity. I'll show you how to connect these as inputs of this material function. And thank you very much. So see you in the next episode, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And for more explanations and the material code, please refer to my blog post. I will post the link in the below. Thank you and goodbye.